Morning. So let's have some fun. I want to have some fun with Jane's comment of, yeah, it's quiet around here. Yeah, it sure is. And I would think it's because of a video like this, even though it's like the last couple of videos. But particularly a video like this, we're looking at the world, the people of the world, the ways of the world, all of it, and nobody can do anything beyond it. Nobody would know there's anything beyond it. And through this entire video, I'm doing something that nobody else can do. A miracle itself, a whole other existence. And you can feel it, you can sense it, you can almost touch it. It's right there in front of your face. And I would figure there's absolutely no comment on that unless somebody wants to strike up a conversation. But let's really get to, um, and this is to like my detriment because a lot of you guys will like Adam Pants, but Adam Pants gets it without getting it, and it's always hard to say any of that kind of stuff about anybody because everybody tries to use that kind of stuff. That's the formula we use of the trees of good and evil. As everybody claims nobody knows how to do anything except for that person. Well, it's kind of like that and kind of not like that. Since Adam Pants hasn't done a solid life in the teachings, he gets it without getting it. So let's have some fun, but he gets it. He gets something that nobody else gets. And let's have fun with the teaching that everybody's always done. The Jesus riding a bike, the riding the bike teaching. Let's do that for real. Been said a million times. Everybody's heard it a million times. But let's actually do it for real. So, what am I doing throughout this video? I'm doing something nobody else can do. I'm out there riding my bike, asking all of you if you want to be bike riders with me. And you're all telling me, yeah, but there's an instruction manual for riding bikes. And I'm telling you, hey, how about we just get on the bikes and ride?
Also told the Statue of Liberty means freedom. Anyway, somebody at some time knew. And how do I know this person was connected to creation? Well, from what I'm learning.
See,
Somebody
it's difficult. These things.
infer that they stole.
There we go. I almost lost it for a second. These things are difficult because a life of the teachings, you don't engage in any of these arguments. You can just beat them real easily, just as he's doing. It's difficult to explain.
Be doing what they're doing right now. They're new.
There we go. We'll start it from here.
Conned you into believing Jesus means this and that. It means the, whatever. Forget that. You're also told the Statue of Liberty means freedom. Anyway, somebody at some time knew. And how do I know this person was connected to creation? Well, from what I'm learning. Somebody knew the correct way to perceive this reality. Somebody knew what it was and how to handle it, how to overcome it. Somebody did. I know the Illuminati didn't come up with a lot of those parables. They couldn't have, because if they could, meaning they had the understanding, the knowledge that builds the foundation reaching the conclusion in these parables, if they knew that, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing right now. Let me say that again. If these people that created religion knew and understood the meaning behind those parables, they would not be doing what they're doing right now. Therefore, I know that somebody knew outside of this control system. What the name was, I don't know. Based upon what I know from Spirit, Whoever gave those parables would never be concerned with being anointed or being called the Christ. So, by deduction, based upon what I know, the man existed. I can only infer that they stole the teachings of this man to sell this pagan worship of Satan. What is Satan? Satan's a consciousness. Satan is neither male nor female. It's both. If you watch the movie The Passion of the Christ, Mel Gibson nailed the essence of Satan with Satan's appearance that seemed, in a bizarre way, neither male nor female, but strangely attractive. That character, the hooded character, very mysterious, very logical, very sensual. In other words, it exhibited both male and female characteristics. And I don't mean like a gay man would. I mean in a very mysterious, sensual, intelligent way. That's what you're dealing with. So it will be male to those who want to perceive it as male, and female to those who want to perceive it as female. It is neither, and it is both. Here's the problem with the Bible. Think of riding a bike. Imagine writing a book about riding a bike. You lay it all out. A really...
Sorry there, I have to cough and step in just for a second to say, see, those are the things. This is where the video really begins, but we needed some of the other part. That's a thing of where the teachings, you're reborn out of that old way. You could never think your way into it. So everything that he was just saying about, oh, Satan, male, female, all these kinds of things, they become irrelevant, but because you beat them and you don't engage in all of that. That's the difference when I'm saying, well, Adampants gets it, but he doesn't. I'm not saying something light. I'm saying something very huge because you wouldn't do that. The teachings teach you not to do that. But let's get on with it. He's on to the real thing, where through this video, the only thing I'm doing is I'm showing you all that I know how to ride the bike. Well, the bike is this reality outside of the reality that everybody else is in. As in, they're outside of life itself, living in death. I can show a different way through this video where nobody in the world can actually think their way into it. So that's what's being talked about right here.
Book telling you with the Bible. Think of riding a bike. Imagine writing a book about riding a bike. You lay it all out. A really thick book telling you the nature of the bike and how to ride it, how to balance what the bike is, what you should do, where you can go, how to properly ride a bike. And you give this to people, and they've never ridden a bike, but you make them memorize the book, forwards and backwards. There's thousands of pages in the book about riding a bike, and they all memorize it real well. Imagine also in this book.
Now, when he's saying they all memorize it really well, you have to understand, he's not talking about religion. He's not talking about people that are even into the Bible or whatever that would mean. He's talking about, let's go and look at every prankster video that has ever been on YouTube, and then there's some follow-up apology video, and the apology video is, oh, hey, look how I'm gonna get away with this. You should not judge. Oh, hey, look how I did that one right there. That is them memorizing it forwards and backwards. It's just life itself We either do the teachings forward or we do them backwards. It's the only thing we can do in the reality.
Thousands of pages in the book about riding a bike, and they all memorize it real well. Imagine also in this book.
Yes, and I'd have to stipulate, yes, they all memorize it real well. And every single bit of it is how every single person justifies all of their evil and thinks that they're intelligent doing it, while they remember this and save this up for later and remember that the manipulation worked for them in this way by using the teachings backwards while they have no clue of what they're doing anyway.
There's thousands of pages in the book about riding a bike, and they all memorize it real well. Imagine also in this book that the people who wrote it did not want you to ride a bike.
And I would have to laugh at this point, because let's go through the teachings of Jesus, and you and I will always try to make the law, whatever it is, the truth, what things are, we will always try to write it down and follow it. We're going to write it down, make it the law, and follow it. And the whole thing about the bike and Christ is the law is the same while the person is forever changing, which means it's all in growth all the time. So to write it down would be death itself, because you're not learning and expanding while the law remains the same, the person changes.
I'll memorize it real well. Imagine also in this book that the people who wrote
it's why it's in a bike, because you think of it as free, as riding free with the wind in your hair, no restrictions. Well, it's done like that.
Imagine also in this book that the people who wrote it did not want you to ride a bike. So
now,
because they don't...
Now that's difficult, because if we started talking about there's people that didn't want you to know and all that kind of stuff, don't think of it as manipulation. Don't think of it as let's try and track it down, and then I can't even remember the names of it all. But what it comes down to understand this, focus on the teachings of Jesus Christ only. Then you will be able to understand the rest of the Bible through that. If you try to look at the entire Bible as exactly the same, well, you're going to get deceived, because you didn't learn the teachings of Christ that enable you to understand everything. You learn the teachings of Christ, everything makes sense. You can figure it out. It's right there. You don't, and you're open for anything and everything. So it's just a big ball of confusion to you.
Want you to ride the bike, they have to be the authors.
So to you, it's a non-issue. You understand when he's saying, oh, well, what if there's people that didn't want you to learn? And what if they changed this and did that? Well, you do the teachings of Jesus Christ and find out how the teachings of Jesus Christ make everything else irrelevant, while you easily learn from it and know what it is.
Of a book on how to ride it. Does that make sense? I mean, logically, that would be the strategy, would it not? If you want to control people and keep them from being able to ride a bike, then you have to be the one in charge.
And how do you do that? You get people to believe in the bike instead of learning how to actually fucking ride it. That all the teachings were about you personally learning how to ride the bike. And you sat there and went, no, the bike's for someone else. No. We're gonna fucking read about the bike and how fucking great the bike is and all that, and never ride the bike for ourselves.
Strategy, would it not? If you want to control...
hey, believe in Jesus Christ, but don't ever learn those teachings. What's the biggest forbidden thing ever? If somebody actually learned the teachings of Jesus Christ, that's the most forbidden thing in the entire fucking world.
People and keep them from being able to ride a bike, then you have to be the one in charge of all the information about the bike and all the instructions on how to ride it. So what you're going to do is you're going to mess it up.
Well,
Imagine,
see that's just a little bit of just being naive right there by Adampants, because he doesn't understand how the mind control of all human beings work, and we all keep each other out of the truth. We're trained to do it. We've been doing it since birth. No one's allowed to know anything. No one's allowed to do anything, and everybody polices everybody at every moment, then sets up a whole thing of like religion or politics, which politics is both the trees of good and evil, and blah, blah, blah. It's all of us. How I'm the perfect example. Every time the middle path shows up, both forces join fucking forces to get rid of me so that they can return to the fucking duet. That's the gatekeeping. That's the getting rid of truth. That's the changing of everything. See, Adam Pants fails to understand all of humanity. So he himself, even though he gets all this shit, he himself has to have an Illuminati conspiracy right here.
adding things in, like to properly ride the bike, you have to make sure that you lean all the way to
See,
the left.
See, that's the thing, Adam. If we went and looked at the fucking teachings, well, they're straight. They're absolute perfection. It's the way everybody approaches them. They don't know how to approach them. They don't know what the fuck they are. They don't know the first thing to do. They know their whole ridiculing of everything, their whole chuckling fucking fest, where I still got to make a video. So profound. I've mentioned it in a couple ones, mentioned it in the last one where I was almost got into a conversation, and it's too fucking big. It's too fucking, the information I have to share with you guys is so incredibly fucking life changing.
Properly ride the bike, you have to make sure that you lean all the way to the left. And remember, you're not good enough to ride the bike. You don't really deserve to ride the bike.
See, I could understand. And understand Adam's interpretation here. Understand how he just got it mixed up with the Bible itself and just people. Let's hear that.
You lean all the way to the left. And remember, you're not good enough to ride the bike.
See that part right there where he's saying, oh, there's something in the book that might say, lean all the way to the left and you won't be able to ride the bike. But then he follows it up with, and remember, you're not good enough to, well, that's the human part of, that's the part where we keep each other out of the whole thing. But see, I could understand, once again, that interpretation if you were trying to look at the Bible as just one thing. Well, it turns into a pig shit if you try to look at it as one thing. If you don't understand the teachings of Christ is the key. It's all of it.
Adding things in, like to properly ride the bike, you have to make sure that you lean all the way to the left. And remember, you're not good enough to ride the bike. You don't really deserve to ride the bike. And the bike is angry with you, and you're going to have to beg the bike for mercy.
That's the funniest shit. And everybody thinks that. They feel it. It's horrible. It's horrible. Because the truth is exactly the fucking opposite. You're like ashamed or something, ashamed of you, ashamed of all the things that you hide, and everybody's right. So when they say it or put it over you or you just live it, it is what it is. But the truth is, once you yourself go confront the teachings of Jesus Christ, you realize it was not about that. Jesus Christ loves you and wants to destroy all of that shit. Destroy it in a real sense where you don't feel it, you don't live it anymore, and you're rebuilt in a new self that is the teachings of Christ itself.
Odds that you're going to be able to do it successfully are almost nil. But memorize the book anyway. And you have all kinds of contradictions in this book. But the people can't argue with the contradictions because they've never ridden the bike.
See, you see the problem here where Adam gets it, but he doesn't get it. He gets that the teachings are perfection themselves, and when you learn them, you can ride the bike and you can beat all of it. But I didn't even intend to make some fucking commentary video. I just meant to play this.
But the people
I just meant to play this, and I knew that I'd have to step in a couple fucking spots.
argue with the contradictions because they've never ridden a bike. And then say somebody comes along who's ridden a bike. And this person...
Yes. Now understand the realness, the absolute realness is this video that I made, and we've done plenty of them like it, where Owen's playing one pillar, he's playing one, and no human being can think their way out of, no human being can show how this guy's full of shit in every single fucking thing of his entire life, and there's no way he could defend himself. There's no way that he could put together a combination of words that could somehow fend off my destruction of him, because his fake self is the fucking lie. There's no defense for this dude. For Owen, no defense. Only destruction for both of you to be reborn all out of this shit where you could never think your way out of it in a million fucking years. You think the totality of reality is this shit.
To somebody who's memorized a book on riding a bike but has never ridden one, and you get into a conversation about the bike, that you've ridden one, it's natural to you, but this person has been forced to memorize a book with fear and shame and guilt about the whole thing.
That's this communist dude over here with all his fear, shame, and guilt. That's what makes it so he can't talk about the teachings for real that he doesn't know and all that, and he has to talk about communist shit of global warming and natural fucking foods.
Ride a bike, but they've never done it. I guarantee you that you would get into an argument. It would probably go something like this. Here, let me take a look at your book. I've ridden a bike. Let me just take a look at it. You start reading through the book, and you're like, whoa, hang on a second. And they say, what? You say, what is this? Lean all the way to the left?
And when you are learning, and you are doing, and you are living the teachings of Jesus Christ, the parables that nobody can penetrate, that are absolute impossibility for people, become to you as easy as, would it be good instructions to lean all the way to the left so that you crash on the bike? It becomes that fucking apparent. Everything does. It becomes so apparent. Nothing of this dude matters. You can just level him. Just absolutely level the motherfucker.
You did that.
No. I know. I memorized that. That's chapter 3, paragraph 9. You must lean all the way to the left in order to successfully ride the bike.
Sir, that's crazy. You'll fall.
No. You're evil. This is the word of the bike. The bike wrote this, and this is its word, and it says that to ride it, it knows, and it's used to lean to the left.
Sir, I guarantee you the bike didn't.
And it's so beautiful, Adampants saying, I guarantee you the bike did not give you the wrong fucking instructions. I guarantee you. Then everybody will try and ride the bike, and that's you in your Jesus box. Yeah, you're not a friend of Jesus. You think you are. You want to follow all the rules. Then you get up on the bike and you lean left and fall over and go, fuck, bike riding isn't for me.
The bike wrote this, and this is its word, and it says that to ride it, it knows, and it's used to lean to the left.
Sir, I guarantee you the bike didn't write this. Here, look at this other chapter. Let me show you something. You see in this chapter how it talks about 90-degree angles? How it would be better
see how difficult this video is, as you guys think Adampants is the savior of reality, because I'll promote him all over the fuck. I'll say, listen to all his videos multiple times, but you'd have to understand Adampants doesn't know what the teachings actually are, but he knows that there's the solution. He knows their perfection itself. But do you see how he's denying the teachings? He's trying to go, there's something wrong with the teachings, and go with it intuitive. That's your ego, Adam. You didn't learn how to live life. You're living life outside of life, just like everybody else. To live life requires the parables and the teachings, and you don't know what they are, and you go on a whole entire journey of the soul to discover what all these things are that are higher than you, that you cannot think your way into. If you abandon all those and say, well, I'll just make this shit up with my opinion, you got motherfucking flat earth mental illness. I know it intuitively. That's Yalta Bayoth. You actually need the teachings.
In a 90-degree angle on, and now look over here, it says lean to the left. Didn't you notice that contradiction?
It's the word of the bike. It knows. It understands its own contradiction.
What? Sir, I've ridden a bike.
See, all this,
I don't.
it all pertains if we understand Adam is talking about the full Bible in itself. And if we were confused in Yalta Bayoth and the ego God and just everything that's going on, it's so convoluted and it's so fucking confusing and it is so all over the place. But if we don't have a foundation in the truth itself, we're going to be confused like Adam, as he says at the beginning of this. Hey, you know, the totality of our existence is built on the teachings of Jesus Christ. Adam, you're having problem just seeing what's right in front of your fucking face. You're just another person saying, oh, well, look, the teachings of Christ built civilization, but let's deny the teachings themselves.
What's going on here, but I can tell you that whoever wrote this book does not want you to be able to ride a bike.
No, Adam, the book is perfection itself. It's your mind control. It's every single person. They got such a fucked up mind while they believe it's normal fucking life, while there's so many different ways to think and believe, and they're all doing exactly the same fucking Pink Floyd, another brick in the wall, while they believe it's the totality of existence at fucking self.
Big, heated, emotional argument ensues. Now, had you never ridden a bike, you wouldn't be able to look at that book and know what the lies are. It would be impossible.
See, there you go, Adam. There you go. If you haven't gone through life learning from everything as you realize it's the teachings of Jesus Christ, all moral lessons, all everything. If you haven't been living life this fucking way, you don't know how to ride bikes.
So you say to the person, hey, look, here's a bike over here. You see? Yeah, they exist. You don't need to read about them.
Hey, it comes down to, if I asked you, hey, what, and I don't know why I do it. It's just a thing of, it's a way to conversate over the internet or whatever. I always bring up TV or movies or something. It's our entertainment. If I asked you, what TV show are you into, or what you watched last night, or what the hell ever, I would expect you not to explain the TV show, to tell me what you learned from it. Hey, did you know I believed this shit? I thought I was so fucking right. Then there was the TV show, there was the moral of the lesson, walked me right down the path. I thought I was so fucking great to figure out I'm one evil ass motherfucker. And I'm so grateful for that TV show to show me something about myself so I can learn something about motherfucking me.
They exist. They've just been hiding them from you. This is a real bike right here. Here, get on. No. Just trust me.
Yes,
Get on
they
the bike.
exist. This way of life is a totally different fucking way of life. It's real life while everyone else is living death.
To read about them. They exist. They've just been hiding them from you.
Yes.
Yes,
they've been hiding them, all the symbolism right in front of your fucking face, but your own belief system. The entire world can be made out of red and blue. All the toys, all the video games, all the movies, politics itself, every last detail. Not one person can fucking even begin to see reality itself, while all of it can be looked at as geometry that somehow is the teachings. Somehow that geometry, all that shit. I want to say it, but I'm not going to do the disservice of trying to explain the entirety of symbolism on fucking planet Earth while there's not much to explain, but everything to learn from a basic fucking code of every fucking thing, where the symbolism is our reality. It reflects everything. We can't build anything without it being in there, but somehow that fucking shit is the teachings that translate into the word that we live, which is exactly the same as existence itself, while we think somehow all the shit is separated somehow.
The bike over here.
You build a fucking house, you build a doorway, you build everything that you built was a code of you couldn't build it without doing that.
Yeah, they exist. You don't need to read about them. They exist. They've just been hiding them from you.
How about fucking Christmas and the door? And we got the pathway and the guards and the lights and all, and the wreath on the fucking door and all the fucking doors, the middle motherfucking path, the guards on the side, the flaming sword.
Person, hey, look, here's a bike over here. You see? Yeah, they exist. You don't need to read about them.
Oh, and I'll tell you guys, I'm having a lot of fun right now. The wife went to China, and I'm feeling like old school right now because I'm making the video at night. And I'm feeling like the old videos right now.
Yes, they've just been hiding them from you.
Maybe we'll get lucky and I'll take a Stargate ride through this video somewhere. It'll happen. I'll start doing the wacky shit I used to. We'll play with motherfucking madness and come back from that shit.
Here, get on. No. Just trust me. Get on the bike here. Put your legs over. And then you give them a push. And they try to ride. And they lean all the way to the left. And they fall.
Yeah. How do they fall, Adam? How do they fall? Because they go, wait a minute. This shit is confusing. I didn't learn the teachings for real. So humble means retarded. Humble means everybody spits and fucking kicks me. That's not what humble is. By you not learning for real and believing meek and humble is homelessness, made you fucking fall off the fucking bike. By the demiurge, yeah, you claimed Jesus Christ. The demiurge came up and had a challenge for you because you didn't learn the teachings for real. Humiliated the fucking shit easily humiliated the fucking shit out of you. And you fell off your bike.
They try to ride and they lean all the way to the left and they fall. And now they're scared. The bike hates me.
You thought you were all powerful, not learning the teachings. And somebody went, hey, look at this fucked up shit I just did. Dude, don't judge me. And you didn't know how to fucking handle that. And you fell off your fucking bike again.
I must repent. No.
And that's it. And I must repent is the solution to learn the teachings is the fucking solution. Be a bike rider.
The left and they fall. And now they're scared. The bike hates me. I must repent. No. Sir, you're copying the book, and the book doesn't want you to know how to ride the bike. The bike wrote this, but listen, just try it again. You put them on the bike, you give them a little push, and they fall again. You say, watch me, and you get on the bike, and you're riding all over the place.
Yeah, see, all these videos that I make, like this one, Owen Benjamin, and that's me showing off. I'm showing off. I'm in the street fucking riding my bike around. Look how I just stomp all over Owen. Not like anybody else has ever fucking done, because Owen has no recourse for himself when I'm done. While I'm doing it, there's no fucking recourse. There's no fighting. There's nothing like anybody has ever fucking seen. Just complete devastation of Owen. This guy over here, there's nothing for you to say, bro. There's no recourse. Just absolute motherfucking destruction as I ride my motherfucking bike around. And I go from channel to channel. And I devastate every one of you. And you would never in a million years face me on my bicycle as I freely ride that shit around. Y'all jealous of a bike rider and shit is what's going on.
See you riding the bike, you've got their attention.
Oh yeah, Adam. When you're riding that bike, they see you riding that bike, it gets their attention. What they do is they look for their enemy and they go, hey, we gotta fucking partner up. We got a bigger enemy. The middle path will destroy us all. We won't get to have duality anymore. We'll actually have a real world. We'll actually be loving, kind, and nice for real. So, as the trees of good and evil, as duality itself, we better fucking join forces and kill that motherfucker.
Place. And so now that they see you riding the bike, you've got their attention.
Makes me think, this shit right here, when I'm saying it, I'm thinking along the lines old school. So I'm thinking when I did this to Santos, I had to think of it for a fucking minute. Danny. Santos and Danny. Great Santos. Fucking gypsy, motherfucking lion, retard, fucking Santos. And fucking Danny Starscream. Fucking Danny Starscream with his fucking, his clouds. What the fuck was it? The sacred geometries in the fucking stardust, and fucking Danny fucking Winter, whatever the fuck his name, Starscream and shit. And both of those motherfuckers joined forces and banned my fucking channel as quick as they fucking could.
You've got their attention because they've been reading about a bike and how to ride it their whole lives.
Remember that video I made on Santos and Danny looking same shit? Same exact shit. Here's Santos and here's Danny, and they also have no chance, as nobody can penetrate this shit, as nobody can do anything fucking beyond it, as they think the duality and fighting of it, one pillar versus the other, is the totality of reality, as fucking Santos and Danny just want to be famous off of all of us, off of taking advantage of all of us, while they try to make it out like, no, we're having this discussion and debate and getting to the truth of, no, they're just taking advantage of us to make money and be celebrities. They have zero truth.
And they can't understand why they can't ride it and you can. Maybe they think there's something wrong with them or something wrong with you.
Oh shit, I'll even hop in there, Adampants. It's too good, dude. You're too fucking awesome.
You've got their attention because they've been reading about a bike and how to ride it their whole lives. And they can't understand why they can't ride it and you can.
It's so easy to understand because you have, and you haven't, but you have, you've taken your belief system, who you believe you are, the totality of it, and faced Jesus Christ. Dude, Jesus Christ just came and devastated the fuck out of us. We were no match for Jesus Christ whatsoever. Jesus Christ devastated us, and that is something to share in as real brothers there.
Maybe they think there's something wrong with them or something wrong with you.
Yeah, there's everything wrong with them. It takes defeating of the entirety of yourself. You gotta proudly walk up and say, hey, Christ, let's go through some pain. Let's go through it. Show me what a piece of shit I am in everything I believe in, and take my false temple and throw every fucking stone down to the fucking ground. And this is easy, but it's the biggest fear of every fucking human being. Of course they cannot fucking do it. I mean, holy shit. the things that we talk about on my channel, which are basic, just to watch a TV show. To watch a TV show, you gotta defeat everything and wholeheartedly look at all the characters and look at yourself and see the reflection of every single fucking thing that you do. And to be able to do that, you have to just conquer everything. Just to be able to barely open your little baby eyes to a basic Punky Brewster fucking TV show is the most devastating fucking thing on planet motherfucking Earth.
Maybe they think there's something wrong with them or something wrong with
Fuck
you.
yeah, they'll never figure it out, Adam. They'll never figure out how they're locked out of reality. How they'll know if the symbolism was there, they have to deny it exists. If the teachings are there, they have to deny those exist.
Right at their
All because of this blind-eyed game that they all play with each other.
lives. And they can't understand why they can't ride it and you can. Maybe they think there's something wrong with them or something wrong with you. Well, that's not a real bike then. Yes, sir, it is. It's a real bike.
Yeah, it's a real bike. The devastation's real. The way that Owen would have no recourse for himself, Santos, anybody, doesn't matter who the fuck it is, done in a way you've never seen ever before, you never knew existed. A fucking came like a motherfucking thief in the night, and you had no recourse. You had no fucking defense for what absolutely you have no fucking chance against.
Just try it again. So you put them on the bike and you say, let go of the book. Trust yourself. Listen, you won't believe this, but you were designed.
How difficult. That is such an enormous truth. So confusing, but not confused. There's nothing confusing about that. But you only understand it once you're on the other fucking side of it. Learning it, being in it. Holy shit, is that confusing, Adam? Holy shit.
Listen, you won't believe this, but you were designed to ride that bike. That's your very design, and the book is keeping you from knowing that you naturally know how to ride.
Yes, you need to learn how the teachings are alive and how to learn them moment to moment, to learn how they're the moral lessons and the moral stories of every fucking story and everything that there is. They're the totality of existence, down to building and geometry, all the way to our words, our actions, our being, all of it.
Forget the rigidity of this book.
Why do you need the book when all of existence is it? The book is just opening you up to existence. Exactly the same as the end of the movie. And the teacher says, all right, now that you graduated, you learned everything that I have to teach you. Now forget everything I have to fucking teach you. How complicated is that until you're on the other side of it? Cannot be understood.
And try it again. So you put them on this bike, and they make it 20 feet before they fall. Oh my God, I did it. That was fun.
And it is. It's fun.
So you put them on this bike, and they make it 20 feet before they fall. Oh my God, I did it. That was fun.
You know what? You know what's difficult about that, Adam, is that joy of a kid. Yes, you put them on the bike. They go about fucking 10 feet. But if you did not give them an education in what the demiurge is going to do, anybody that's going to be a bike rider, you're not qualified to ride bikes until you can beat the demiurge ridiculing you off of the bike. So that's just the thing of that's where it would be difficult to be a teacher, because you want to encourage this childlike feeling. You want to encourage the life. You want to focus everything around that, while you want to give a solid education. And hey, that felt good and you could do that, but the real challenges you have to meet, you need vast education to be a proper bike rider.
Yeah, that's your design. Do you know that as a bike rider, that's what you enjoy the most?
Yep.
Did you feel controlled
Yep.
when you were riding?
Did you know that? That's when you feel the best. That's when you feel alive. That's when you're doing life itself. You're out there. But once you learn how to ride a bike, you're officially a bike rider. You don't fucking forget how to ride it. You ride it everywhere.
Bike, or did you feel more free than you've ever felt in your life? Now, of course, the authors of the book and the people that promote the book get pretty angry when they find out about this. You're blowing their whole scam out of the water. That's no good to them, right?
But who's Adam talking about? Let's chime in right there. Who's Adam talking about? Because we would think, oh, he's talking about the Pope, the Vatican. Let's take it to more extreme angles. Illuminati.
About this. You're blowing their whole scam out of the water.
Ah, you're blowing their whole scam out of the water? Their whole scam is your parents. The whole scam is their friends, somebody else's friends, all the Christians, all that, all the people that will not let you learn the teachings of Jesus Christ while they claim Jesus Christ, while they'll fucking ridicule the fuck out of you for learning them for real. They want to make it so you never ride the bike. Everybody's jealous. It's the basis of all this shit. Everybody wants to hold every fucking buddy back and claim it was a favor.
Now, of course, the authors of the book and the people that promote the book get pretty angry when they find out about this. You're blowing their whole scam out of the water. That's no good to them, right?
Yeah,
Because
their whole scam. This dude right here, this dude that his whole scam is blown out of the fucking water.
Evidence of the bike around, but you've never ridden one.
This dude right here is going to tell us all about bike riding, but when we say, dude, ride the bike, he's going to say, fuck, nobody can ride the bike. We study the bike. We worship the bike. No one could ever fucking actually ride it.
They need to create that book to include the evidence, but tear you away from it at the same time. Well, this is a metaphor, of course, and I can tell you something about Christ. He was a bike rider, and he rode the bike. And he was trying to get all of you to ride the bike. Instead,
you know what happens when we all ride the bike together? That's when the mediator comes in. We never have a problem ever again. Everything solves itself. We'd have to do it for real to see what I'm saying is the actual truth of things.
Get you to ride him.
And we all did hear what he said. I mean, we all should already, of course, that nobody wants you to ride a bike. They want you to ride Jesus at fucking self like he is the bike.
Ride the bike.
And I could put that into many different terms. That right there is they want you to ride Jesus like he's the bike. That's fucking Owen. That is fucking Owen to the fucking motherfucking maximum Owen right there. That's
Instead, they're trying to get you to ride him. Understand my meaning. He was a bike rider, trying to get everybody else who were naturally bike riders to ride the bike.
Yep.
And now they're trying to...
all the truths are you knew them when you were 5 years old. They're for children.
You to ride him. Let me ask you something. Did Christ feel like he needed to wear a specific outfit in order to be credible? Oh, that's right. No, he didn't. What book was this man regurgitating from? Oh, that's right. No book. He didn't need a book about riding bikes because he already knew how to do it.
And now we need that book to give us a head start to learn what riding bikes is. So we learn the entire reality is about bike riding. The entire reality is the teachings of Jesus Christ, the totality of all of it, the foundations, every last bit. We get our eyes open to this and start living life itself.
They're giving it a name and a procedure and a ritual called Christianity. What name did he give it? Oh, that's right. No name. You see, in the Bible, they even tell you, watch out for people who give long, extended sermons for praise and their outer persona. It's right in there. But with mind control, which is what religion is, people cannot allow themselves to see the direct contradictions. I mean, the Old Testament is absolute crap. It's pure mind control. I mean, come on, man. The table was 3 cubits high and 2 cubits wide. And
that shit is vast. It's shit that we'll just never even know what it is anymore. But you know what? The grandness of that, to get away from cubits and all that, the grandness of that is to understand why the United States and Israel, why are we supposed to be connected? Very real reasons, through real science, through real learning, through everything. There's supposed to be the setup that there is.
It's all sacred, John.
And I can put it in a funny way because it's the absolute truth. Seth MacFarlane is supposed to do what he is doing while you consume it. That is Seth MacFarlane's job as a Jew. He's supposed to make Family Guy, and it's supposed to be as exactly as enlightening as it is.
Is crap. What does that have to do, descriptions like that and family lineage have to do with the spirit? Not one thing, not one.
I don't know, Adam, but when it comes down to it, at the totality of everything, it's why Seth MacFarlane's supposed to fucking shower us with moral teachings in entertainment, and that is his fucking job in life. I don't know, Adam. All the other kind of shit, it's just out there and we don't understand it, but here's the realness of it.
It's all channeled. The parables, you have to understand that the knowledge he had is non-translatable. In other words, if you read a book about riding a bike, you can read it all you want.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Adam's going to explain how we can't think our way into it.
That the knowledge he had is non-translatable. In other words, if you read a book about riding a bike, you can read it all you want. You can memorize it forwards and backwards and dedicate your life to that book. Someone puts you on a bike, you're going to fall. Period. Reading a book about riding a bike is not the same as intuitively riding a bike. And they know that. They know that all too well, you see, because Satan controls religion. And it loves it. It loves that you're memorizing this book on how to ride a bike.
Yes, our ego. Satan loves that shit.
Do you understand? That's Satan's preference.
Yeah, Satan would love to get rid of the part of you that can actually learn, the part that's real, and just memorize and repeat everything. It's the only thing the ego's capable of, so it's jealous of anything else.
Do you understand? That's Satan's preference. It prefers that because at the right moment, for everybody who's memorized that book about riding bikes, Satan will put you on that bike and you're going to fall in the crucial time because you've depended upon a fraudulent book about bike riding.
And it's so perfect because he's correct. It has all the book has all the correct shit in it, the real teachings, but as far as you're concerned, it's a fraudulent book because you didn't learn, so you're not riding bikes.
irony is you're naturally a bike rider.
Yes,
It's like
the book's gonna teach you you're naturally a bike rider, so let's ride some bikes, people.
you're naturally
You're afraid somebody's gonna say you're not allowed to ride a bike.
a bike rider. It's like a coach. We've all seen this where you have a player with natural talent on some sports team, and you get some bullshit coach that comes and tries to force the player with natural ability to follow his structure.
Oh, so much to say, Adampants, coming from a guitar player that's taught many people how to play. Some people come along and they have so much natural ability, you throw out everything and you only cater to not teaching them too much. You don't want to ruin their natural ability. But for everybody else, we all have to do the steps. We have to take guitar lessons and do step A and step B and step. But when that person that's better than everybody hears it better than everybody, do you just try to make that motherfucker blossom in what he's already got? You don't try to corrupt it and force it into shit and ruin it. You take that golfer with that beautiful golf swing, but everybody said, oh, you know what? That's not the textbook swing. So let's ruin your golf swing, even though you're better than all of us.
Can't play. The coach doesn't have 1 ounce of the natural ability of the player, but yet the coach, with his position of authority over the player, forces the player to acclimate to his philosophy based upon no talent whatsoever. And then the player screws up. The player becomes mechanical and rigid.
Yeah, the coach is the teacher's fault right there. All pompous and arrogant, up in the ego and shit, going, oh, well, you do step A, step B, and step C.
The same way. Parables are metaphors, okay? And they're meant to draw upon some sort of experience you've had to tune your mind to an understanding outside of descriptive words.
That's better than I've ever fucking said it, Adam. Beautiful. Brilliant. Wish I said it like that.
For example, it's kind of like if I went up to a basketball team and I said to the players, guys, it's like the feeling you get when you spin a basketball on your finger. You know, the feeling that you get when it's stable.
You can't think your way into it. We try to describe it, but the words are shadows compared to the real fucking thing.
And you just got it. You just know it. You've got it going. That type of feeling. And the ones who can spin a basketball on their finger say, yeah, I get that. Makes sense why I've drawn upon a feeling that you cannot translate into words. I cannot describe it with words. I can attempt to do so, but it's not the same thing as accomplishing spinning a ball on your finger. It's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to do it.
Yeah, you can't explain how lonely it is to beat duality and be sitting here all alone, riding my bike all over YouTube, visiting channel after channel as I'm completely denied by everybody, just riding my bike around, enjoying the fuck out of myself. I'm the most happy person in the world as I'm the most lonely person in the world because there's no one to relate to. There's no one to do shit with. You're all non-bike riders in your duality, fighting the other side of duality, denying the fucking truth, denying riding a bike.
So yeah, I get that. Of course they get it because they've done it, therefore the parable has meaning. If they haven't done it, it will have no meaning. They'll hear and understand the same words I used and guess, but they can only guess because they've not done it. So they write that down. Well, that makes sense when I'm trying to explain whatever. Then imagine 2,000 included in this book is that metaphor. It's like spinning a basketball on your finger. But now there's no more game of basketball. There's no basketball in sight. No one would be motivated to do that and don't have a basketball to do it with. And all the people have memorized it, though, and they're actually using this metaphor to recruit others into a similar belief system. when none of them have spinned a basketball on their finger. Therefore, the real meaning behind that is gone. Whatever Christ said to people when he was talking with them, if that happened, of course, would have been in the moment, catered to whoever he was speaking to.
See, that it's so perfect, Adam. It's so perfect. Then you want to go into like, okay, let's dive into the life of Christ. The teachings make that irrelevant because they show the totality of reality, all history, all time, all creation is those teachings itself, makes looking at the man itself completely fucking irrelevant. We can prove the teachings. They are perfect. They are what's real. They are. All your other shit is irrelevant speculation that does nothing for fucking anybody. That's the kind of shit where you learn the teachings and everything becomes a non-issue that is easily defeatable. You walk right the fuck past it onto real shit.
In addition, he was able to shape what he said. Remember, the people, if they did write it down, and I don't know how he could talk that fast and have them write it down, but nevertheless, they would take Cliff's notes, you know what I mean? They would have their experience and write it down based upon what he said. But what he said was describing what they were feeling with him, the understanding they got when he was speaking it in that moment, in that time. So he went on using parable after parable, metaphor after metaphor, because you can only bring
you can only say it's like this and it's like that. And notice how all of us human beings, we always have to compare. So who is the author of this as a teaching itself?
To the truth.
Every single time we do our comparing thing, there's an original source of it and a way to do it.
The truth with metaphor, like I just explained. So he'll try it again. It's like this and this. It's like this and this and this. To try to tune the mind to an experience that would be close, because you know what it's like to ride a bike. So you try to draw upon something they might have done that would assist them, that the rules and regulations of control are keeping them from knowing.
And you know what? This is just as good a spot as any. Just as it's kind of like a cliffhanger. Let's end it right here. I could keep on going on and going on and going on, but we'll be here for 6 hours. And I wonder if anyone would even mind that. But I'll link this video and have some fun. Have some fun learning how to ride a bike.